Yes, first, of course, is what is common to Qawwali in all the phases is that a move away from the high pedestal, from the classicist tradition, both at the level of form, at the level of songs, singing, language, and everything. So it is, it is consciously trying to move away from the high pedestal in all its forms. In the orthodox form, even when it promoted or when it talked about orthodox Islam, it talked about a very, very different language. अब्दुल्ला के घर में जहाँ से नूर बिखरने वाला है, दाई हलीमा गोद में तेरी चांद उतरने वाला है. So it's a celebration virtually of high Islam, but in a language which is very different. Whether it was orthodox or it was syncretic of course, in which Hindu elements and Hindu imageries and symbols came, and Krishna became as important an actor. कि तोहे टेरू मुरली के बजैया, कि तोहे टेरू मैं किशन कन्हैया, कि तोहे टेरू अली जी के प्यारे, फातिमा बीबी के राज दुलारे, in a very seamless kind of a way. Now language again is important, or in its after orthodox syncretic, in its disenchanted, rebellious and heretical form. That's the third important form, in which tenets of high Islam are clearly damned. Sin is celebrated. Sin is important because sin is what connects us to people. तुझको करीम जान के मैंने किए गुनाह, हम बेगुनाह रहते तो कहता करीम कौन. I gave God a great opportunity to forgive me by sinning. It's so important for me to sin. I give God something to do. एहतियातन गुनाह करता हूं ताकि तेरी रहमत से रहे रिश्ता मेरा, एक कनेक्टिविटी रहे. Therefore एहतियातन गुनाह करता हूं. There is a social role. I sin because that's how we connect with God. The sinless people cannot connect with God. They don't leave anything for the God to do. So opposition to a kind of a righteousness, self-righteousness in every form. So language, attitude towards self-righteousness. And the third difference that has come is that in classical Qawwali, classical traditions, the separation between the performers and the audiences was not there. With modern times, with technology, gramophone, etc., what happens is that there is a clear distinction and separation between performers, singers, performance, and the audiences. Audiences are clearly different. Now, with Qawwali, audiences are different because they are placed elsewhere, they are listening to it on the radio or watching it on the screen. But I think it's one medium which, even under modern conditions, it comes close to being one in which the distinction between the performer and the audience is minimalist, because the audience become the performers. They get so involved into it that they become performers as much as it's possible to be a performer under modern conditions, in which these separations are very clear. Whether it's sports or any high culture, these separations are important. But Qawwali is one area in which this separation is kept almost to the minimum. So these are some of the important USPs or features of the world of Qawwali. Opposition to righteousness, self-righteousness, a different form of language, and the distinction between performer audience being kept almost to the minimum.